Okay, so I got out a bag of broccoli. This is from the store. You can see they're cut about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long, including some stems, pretty good sized pieces. How it's done. That's how they do it, and that's how we should do it. I'm going to take this big stem off by cutting these little florets out, like that. Like that. And then if we want, we can split the florets up a little bit smaller. Put them in this big container, and we'll go out and blanch them in some water we have boiling. These are a little bit long, so let's cut them back like that. That helps them break up into smaller pieces anyway. Cut that. That looks nice. This is fresh pick, so they're not old and woody. Some of these stems are probably okay, but it doesn't present very well on the kitchen table if you have too much stem like that. That looks nice. Let's break that up just a little bit. This is a ton of broccoli. This will last us a while, and that's really fun. We have never had such a nice crop of broccoli, but we've never really tried hard to get them to produce as well. By planting them earlier than the rest of the garden. We usually plant at the end of May with the rest of the garden, and of course it doesn't give the broccoli enough time to mature before it starts to get really hot outside. Isn't that pretty? Nice and tight. Looks good. This one is beginning to open up. So I'm not sure. It's probably okay. We could freeze it. But it's not as tight as some of these. Like this is very nice and tight. That's how they should be. They shouldn't be opening. They're starting to open. Here's another one. See how it's beginning to open up? And we can save some of this maybe right here. But the rest of this we'll either use in fresh salads or we'll blend her in smoothies. I'll make another bowl for those. That's not bad. No, that's just fine, this one. And maybe that piece right there is okay. And that piece is okay. But the rest of this, I think we're going to save a different direction. Use that in our current salad. smoothies. This one. This is the one. I think we'll take that guy off. Right there, keep it. And the rest can go in the salad bunch. Like that. All right, our pan is full and the water is boiling. So we're going to take this out and get it started cooking. I don't know if I can fit any more in that pan. All right. Okay, next step is just to rinse. Make sure there's no earwigs, make sure there's no aphids, ladybugs, spiders. We can rinse those out. Make sure there's no dirt, of course. From the rinse, we go straight into the boiling bath, and so it's just a formality that we make sure that I don't see any bugs. Looks really nice. I don't see any earwigs floating on top. So we're just going to pick this up, put it over here in another container that can transfer then to the boiling water. And we'll boil them for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, we'll strain out the blanched broccoli and bring it back to the cold water and cool it down so it doesn't continue to cook. Okay, we have a stove out in the garage that we use for canning. The broccoli can go up in there. This is boiling water. And we'll make sure there's enough for all of it. That's it. Good. Woo, that's hot. Make sure it's all submersed. That's good. Like that. Then we'll turn the timer on for 3 minutes. Okay, after 3 minutes, they've turned a pretty color. Wow, look how brilliantly green that is. Wow. Sitting in the boiling bath. I'll strain these out. Then we'll wait for the water to come to boil again and put another set in. Putting in the fresh broccoli cools the water down just slightly. Not enough to cook it for longer than 3 minutes though. We're going to set that there and wait for it to boil again. Okay, the broccoli we just removed from the boiling bath. I'm going to dump in some ice water and cool it down so it doesn't continue to cook. That's cooling down very quickly. We'll give that a few minutes. Okay, the broccoli is cool. As we cleaned the broccoli the first time and I rinsed out the water, I found a little green worm. Really good reasons to rinse the broccoli first before you put it in the boil bath. But as we cool it, it goes in a water bath again, and we might see other things that we can take out. I just haven't seen anything yet. It's used up all of the little ice cubes. So we'll take this strainer, strain some of the water off, and set it on these trays to dry, at least to drain some more before we throw it in the freezer. Otherwise, if it's too wet, it would freeze together as a solid block. A real good option, of course, would be to freeze the broccoli like this. Just freeze it in the trays. Once it's frozen individual pieces, then you can put it in the bags, put it back in the freezer, and not have it frozen together. After it drains in the tray, we can pour the water out the side of the tray too. Okay. It's hard to get with a strainer, so I'm just going to reach in there with my hand, shake off the water. Try not to break it up too much. The blanching process now has stopped the growth and the ability for it to wilt, you know. So once we freeze it, it'll still maintain its color and its crispness, and it'll taste fresh as we pulled it out of the garden. I'm going to heat it up again. Heating it up again will continue to cook it to the proper consistency. You might like it crisper, you might like it softer, and you would cook it to that point after it's frozen again, before it's served again. Okay, so now we can pour a little water out the bottom corner here. That's probably good for now. It will continue to drain. I'll leave it in this tray for a few minutes before we put it in the freezer. And we'll repeat the entire process until all of the broccoli is processed. We've got some more here. Pan across here. You can see there's some in the cook tray, but there's quite a lot left I still need to cut up, and the next batch is ready to go in the cooker right here. So we'll process it all till it's gone, put it in the freezer bags. We'll be right back.